Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a little bit of maths today, courtesy of physicist from Funen, I believe a Danish constructor who we have featured once on the channel before, quite some time ago, but looking forward to grappling with this puzzle, doing a little bit of calculation perhaps as well, but I will explain the rules in a minute. There's a little note, an example in the rule set that needs to be comprehended, I believe. So I'll do that in a second. Don't forget, on Patreon, it's August, it's Rostam and his labours. That is the hunt for the month. 1st of August to the 20th, that's the deadline. Do give them a try. 7 puzzles, and they represent the labours of Rostam, the Persian hero, so check that out. We've also, of course, got crosswords and connection videos on Patreon and solution videos to prior months. We've got all of our apps that feature killer Sudoku, and of course Fog of War Sudoku. I haven't done a fog puzzle in a while that I remember. Now we've also got SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD linked under the video, how to contact us, the Discord server, the spreadsheet, record of all our puzzles, so many things, and we urge you to engage with us, leave some comments, be nice perhaps, especially to the constructors, and also you know, feel free to tell us what you think, and subscribe to the channel and like the videos. Some streaming on Mondays occasionally as well at the moment. Anyway, let's look at the rules of this puzzle. So it's called squared and paired, and normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. There's an anti-night restriction, and I get my red bag and I fish out my friend 90 McKnightface, who always reminds me, sometimes after a bit of a delay, to look at the anti-night restriction. That means that digits and nights move apart like those two, can't contain the same cells. Now, digits in cages may not repeat. In this puzzle, cage totals come in pairs, an integer and its square. No cage is unpaired, and each pair may appear only once. So that might be an integer, and that total might be its square. But for clarity, if one cage sums to 3, there must be a separate cage summing to 9, which is 3 by 3 obviously, completing the pair. However, a second cage summing to 9 may exist, provided its partner cage with a sum of 81 also exists. So that's a slightly surprising twist. I don't think that 81 would be consonant with no repeat digits in cages, but the point is made, and it needs to be borne in mind, because that wasn't what I was expecting until I read the for clarity bit. So thank you, physicist from Funen. Funen is a lovely place. I've been a number of times, obviously very famous as the birthplace of Hans Christian Andersen, an island that represents, I would guess, about 10% of Denmark's landmass. And it's very nice. Anyway, do give this puzzle a go on that first link under the video. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. And we've got very few given digits and very few indications of how to begin. So where do we begin? Let's look at this middle box. I get to share the secret with you immediately, which is that every row, column and box of a Sudoku always adds up to the same number. We know what the number is even before we start, and it's 45. That's the secret. And we know that because the numbers 1 to 9 add up to 45. So this cage adds up to 45. Does that tell us something wonderful about the contents? Not really. Sum of 2 squares is sometimes useful. Sum of 3 squares, which is what this box is. No, it's not the sum of 3 squares, because these may not be squares. They may be integers that are square roots of other cage totals. Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay, let's do something else. Let's think about the single cell squares, cages. So there are 4 of them. Now the point I made earlier is valid. That if you multiplied by 9, you would get to a number too big to be in a cage in this puzzle. There are no repeat digits in the cage, so let's look at what the maxima are of the various cages. This one has 6 digits. Its maximum is 42. This one is the next biggest with 4, and its maximum, 9876, is 30. Oh, this wasn't 42. It was 39, which doesn't make a difference to what I'm doing. This one is, because 9876543 is 39. This is 9876, so 30. So we've got one cage that could be a maximum of 39, one that could be a maximum of 30, and then 2 3-cell cages that can be a maximum of 24. So what, but we've got, sorry, quickly, I mean, I presume we've got 10 cages in total, have we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we've got 12. So there's 6 pairs of digits. 6 pairs of totals is what I mean. Okay, the 1-cell cages is not the interesting part of that. Probably the interesting part is these totals. So 39 won't allow a, right, it won't allow a number bigger than 6 to be its root. So what we're going to have in this puzzle, I'm just going to aid memoir the cage totals. We're going to have all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squared to be 1. I've been wondering, could we possibly have 1 and 1? Well, we have to, because we're going to have 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36. Those are going to be the cage totals. And we do have 1 and 1. Oh, and we have 4 twice as well. Right, these are the cage totals that we've got to make. And now the only one that can be 36 is this one. Sorry, let me put that in yellow. It's just an aid memoir. It's just me noting down what totals we're going to need. This one is going to be the 36 because none of the others are big enough. Then this one is the only next one bigger than 3 cells, so that's the 25. 16, well, that could be in a 2-cell cage. So after those, it's a little harder to apportion up. But let's look at this total again. 45 minus 36 means those two add to 9. That feels a bit less important in terms of the individuals, which could be 5 and 4 or 3 and 6. Actually, this aid memoir thing is quite useful. That is 3, 4, 5 or 6, and the total of this cage is also 3, 4, 5 or 6. I mean, that's a stupid way of noting that down, but those add up to 9. I'm going to look at the row now, because what's this? This could add up to 16. If it didn't add up to 16, the next lowest cage available is 9. That would make those 6 cells add up to 18 and leave these 3 adding up to 27 for the row, and that's not possible in 3 cells. So this is the 16 cage. And we've got rid of, what am I doing? We've got rid of 16 from the list there. So now everything else, including the 3-cell cage here, they are all single-digit totals of 9, 6, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, we've done that. I was going to say it can't work because this one can't be a total of 9, but we did that. It's 36. This we know is not a total of 9. That is 4, 5, or 6. I'm tempted to say this must be the 9, but it might be the 6 total. Yeah, we don't know. Sorry, I'm just going to move that. I know it's not paired with the 4. I just want to get it out of the cage. This is my aid memoir now of cages I have yet to apportion into the puzzle. It's quite difficult to do that. I might have to get rid of the aid memoir or literally write down the numbers on a piece of paper in front of me. because they're going to kind of block the grid and are thinking about what else is in the rest of the grid. However, let's look at this row. We know that that adds up to 9 and that adds up to 16, that's 25. These three add up to 20, and to make up the 25 total, that's a 5. There's our first digit actually in the grid. I'm going to get rid of those now. That's the first real digit. These add up to 20 without using a 5. That means they've got a 9 in, because the only way of doing it without a 9 is 875, and that's not going to happen. So one of these is a 9. The other two add up to 11. These add up to 9, and that adds up to 16. Right, well, we can't have another 5 in here because we've already got one. So 5 and 6 don't appear in this cage. One of them appears in here because it's either a 3, no, yes, no, no, because that cage adds up to 3, 4, 5 or 6. It's not necessarily 3, 4, 5 or 6 itself. But it adds up to, where does 8 go in the row? That's a very good question. It doesn't go here because we've got 8 in the box. These two cages add up to 9 between them. It doesn't go there, it goes here. And now the fourth digit in this cage is a 3. That means this isn't a 3, but that doesn't mean this can't add up to 3. Not at all. These add up to 3, 4, 5 or 6, so the digit 7 is not in them. 7 is in this 16 cage with, again, 2 digits that add up to 3, 4, 5 or 6. No, with 2 digits that add up to 9 that don't include 8 or 7. And that means the 1 and the 2 are not in this cage. That means the 1 and the 2 are in this cage, and it adds up to 3. And this cage is therefore a 6, because we can do the maths on the box, remember. And that cage is a 6. And this cage is left with 4, 5 and 7, adding up to 16. Excellent. Well, I'm going to take out the perimeter digits, the corner digits, but I am also crossing 3 and 6 off my list of cage numbers. The ones I have left to find now are worth 1, 1, 2, 4, 4, 5 and 9. 1, 1 and 2 are obviously all single digit cells. Hang on, I thought there were 4. That's great. We've used up one of the single digit cells. So the other 3, these are 1, 1 and 2. And obviously since we need 2 1s, they have to be in those corners with 2 in that corner. Right, now we know the minimum total for this cage is 9, 2, 3 and 4. And we needed, that was the only higher value cage that we had left. So we've now got 4, 4 and 5 to put in these remaining cages. Oh, this one, 4, 4 or 5. Well, if it's 4, it's a 1, 3 pair. If it's 5, because of the 2, it's a 1, 4 pair. So there's always a 1, and that's 3 or 4. I'm going to get rid of that total now. So this is 4, 4 or 5, but we don't know there's a 1 in it. Oh, we do know that these aren't both worth 4, because you'd have to put a 1, 3 pair there, and that would break this cell if this was worth 4. So one of these two is worth 5, and this one is worth 4, and we can fill in the 3. That's a 4. This is a very clever puzzle, physicist. Very nice. So one of these is worth 4, and the other one is worth 5. Let's colour them different colours. One is worth 4 and one is worth 5. And we've kind of done the, incredibly, 10 minutes in, 10 and a half minutes, we've done all the mystic stuff in the cages. I didn't think that was going to happen. I'm going to fill in 1, 2, 3 and 4 as candidates, because that's all that is left when you're making up cages of 4 and 5 in 2 digits. So now we're going to get to do Sudoku, and Nighty McNightface jumps into my consciousness and says, "Don't forget me." So I won't forget you. I will remember that we do need Knight's moves to resolve this, which isn't surprising. Actually, the main reason I just thought of that now was because I was thinking, oh, there's not a lot of digits for a classic Sudoku. There's not a lot for a knight's move. Anyway, 7, no, this is a 7-8 pair. Look at those givens. So this group is 5, 6, 9, and that's a 4. I haven't used the knight's move yet. I'm still on classical stuff. Now, there's no 4 in this cage. It's either 1, 3 or 2, 3. And that digit, therefore, is 1 or 2. We need an 8 in this box, and it can't be a knight's move away from that 8. So it's in one of those cells. 3, 8, 9. That 5. Oh, we need a 1 in one of those two. Oh, that's nearly quite powerful. If that was a 1, this cage couldn't have a 1 in it. And that would be a 1. Oh, wow. We definitely know that was a 1. Interesting. Don't know quite how it works. 5 is confined to those cells. What does 6 see? Just those two. Okay, let's have a look at this 9. That sees all of those cells. So we've got a 9 in one of those two. That's not a 9 now. That's also not a 9. That's just Sudoku. That's not a 5. 1, 2, 3 in this row seem to be a triple up here. Now, that's interesting. Whatever digit this is can't go there or there by Sudoku and knight's move, so it must go there. So that's not a 3. So now we've got a 1, 2 pair in the middle column. We've also got digits here from 4, 6, 9 in this row, and that one is a knight's move away from a 6. 4, 8, 5, 7. I do like this puzzle. 2, 3 there. 9, 1. No, I don't quite know what to do with that. Need a bit of a breakthrough still. Is that 1, 2 pair useful to me? Doesn't feel like it. The 1 in box 1 is somewhere there. The 1 in, box 3 is somewhere there. The 1 in box 6 is in one of those cells, and that rules out that one. Yeah, oh, it's close. I'd love to force there to be a 1 in this cage, because then we'd know what it was. So there's a 1 in one of those cells, there's a 1 in one of those. The 1 in one of those doesn't change anything. Can we do this without a 1 in the cage? We would have to have a 1 in that column, and therefore a 1 there. And the 1 in this column would definitely have to be here. That would put a 1 here. Let's just carry this through a little. There'd be a 1 either there or there by Sudoku and knight's move. And, oh, I don't know. Oh, that 1 sees this. That's just ordinary. Right, so there is a 1 in one of those cells, and there is a 1 in one of those cells. That's using up the 1s for columns 6 and 5. So none of those are a 1. One of these is a 1. One of those two is a 1. I'd quite like to prove it's here, but maybe actually that wouldn't help all that much. It's very odd to have these dangling orange and green cages that add up to 4 and 5 and not quite know what to do with them. I'm wondering if I'm missing a trick there, but if I am, I'm carrying on missing it. Okay, 6, 1, 2, we've got an 8 there. That doesn't make any sense to me. Double 7 in those. 1, 2, 3, 9. Oh, we can place 4 in this box. Okay, that's so easy to do once you see it. Then that's not a 4, and that is a 4. And that 4 sees all of those cells. So the 4 in box 4 is in one of those. The 4 in box 5 is in one of those two. Anything there ruling 4 out of this box? No, is the short answer. 3, 8, 9, 4, 1, 5. This is 2 or 7 because it also can't be 6. And this one is 6 or 7 because it can't be 2. scratching around now. I'm not doing anything clever. I'm doing annoying things that don't really help. These cells, we're looking at 6, 7, 8, 9. So these ones are definitely, well, that one is 7 or 8. That's quite constrained, but there we go. Could start colouring things. I think this will go all right if I could just get a bit of traction on those cages. 4, 1, 3, 2, 5. This 1, 2, 3 triple's really annoying me. If that was a 3, this would be a weird 1, 2 deadly pattern pair, wouldn't it? No, Knight's Move can sort that out. That's a shame, but I'm not allowed to use the deadly pattern anyway. 9 is a sort of X-wing between these cells. I can see that. That's where the 9s in rows 7 and 9 go. Now, if 9 was there, we'd know that wasn't a 9. We could place a 9 here, and then there'd be a 9 in one of those two. A 9 there, and I don't know quite what else that would do for us. So, okay, if that was a 1, no, much more importantly, if this was a 1-3 pair, this cage adds up to 5 then, because that's the 4 cage. Actually, what I'm going to think about instead is if this green was the 5 cage, that would be a 2-3 pair. We would have 1s in those positions. The 1 in box 2 would have to be here. And that would have to be a 4, and that can't be a 4 because it would wipe out both positions for 4 in this box. Aha! So where did I start there? I said if this was the... I don't know what I said. I said if this was the 2-3, if this was 5, if green was 5, that would be 2-3. That would leave the 2 1s in boxes 3 and 6 in those positions. That would force that to be a 1, and I've got it the wrong way round. I've got it the wrong way round. Bother. I was saying if that was the 5 cage, and I thought that meant this was the 5 cage, but it wasn't. What I did learn is that 4 can't be in that cell. So that is 2 or 3. And this isn't 4 either, because that can't go with 2 or 3 in a 4 or 5 cage. So all I have learned there is not... Oh, I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in the row, so that can't be a 1. Oh, goodness me, it's not resolved, is it? Okay, if that was a 2, this would be a 7. Oh, if that was a 2, this would be a 2. Now, if that was a 2, this would be a 3. Oh, these cages that now don't have 4 in, one of them is a 2-3 pair, and the other is a 1-3 pair. That's how we're making up the cages of 4 and 5. That's the only way. There are 2 3s involved. So those have got one of the 3s. This is a 3. And this is not a 3. So at least we got a 3 out of that. Then 3 is in one of these 2 cells along with 4. And that's now a 1-2 pair. Oh, that feels powerful, and I don't know how to use it. There's definitely a 3 in these cells. Oh, and that means that's not a 3 because they both see it. So that's a 4. Thank you, Night Face again. That's a 3. We've got a 4 somewhere up there. Okay, what else? I don't think the 3s in both of those cells are doing anything else, but they did something, and that's nice. That's not a 3. Oh, we do get that 1-2 deadly pattern that I wasn't expecting, because it's not deadly, because a Knight's Move will come along and sort it out. But that means that 1 and 2 both have to be in these cells, and we've marked 1 as being in that one of those. 2 is now definitely in one of those as well. 4, 6, 3, 9. Everything else in the column is from 5, 7 or 8. The 3 looks at that cell. Actually, so does that 3, much more clearly. Didn't spot that yet. 4, 3, 6, 1, 2. We've got 5, 7, 8, 9 here, and they all see that cell, which also can't be 4, 1 or 2 in the box. So that is 3 or 6. Ooh, it's not 3, because this cage needs a 3, and they both see that cell. So it's a 6. One of these two is a 6. Now, this is one of these Knight's Move techniques, and we used it in this group already, but one of these two is a 6. Now, how do I know that? I know that because we've got a 6 in one of those two. If it's there, one of those two is a 6 already. If it's there, neither of these two can be a 6, and that one must be. So one of these two is a 6. That's not, therefore, and now we've found a 7-8 pair and a 6-9 pair as well. The 7-8 pair are both looking at that digit, which becomes a 9. Now I've got an 8 X-wing. That's going to use up the 8s in columns 1 and 3 and tell me that 8 is in one of these cells. Always interesting, not vital. 4, 6, 3, 1, 2. And I mean, I got all that from thinking about this T, looking at that. So peculiar. These Knight's Move puzzles have these little things in. Oh, in this row, that is now 5 or 6. Now, are they both looking somewhere, 5 and 6? Well, they're both looking at that cell, which is therefore 7 or 8. And whatever it is has to be in one of those two, and I don't think that's helpful. So, can I use, oh, 9 is in one of these two, and 9 is there. So one of those is a 9. 1, 9, 8, 6. 6 is in one of those 3. Oh, that 6 sees all of these digits. Ah, that's not quite enough to do anything. Nearly, but not quite. So, got to keep going with the Knight's Move stuff. This one is not a 9, obviously. I just don't know, 5, 6, 7 or 8, but that's a huge wedge of possible items. Okay, the 1, 2 pair. Or, if this was a 1, that would have to be a 1. Then that would be a 1. Wouldn't that be interesting? No, it wouldn't. No. Oh, goodness, which one of these is 3? Oh, that one's not 3 because we've got a 3 there, yeah, numpty. So that's a 1, 2 pair and that's a 3. Right, I don't need the colours anymore because however I resolve this 1 and 2, I'm going to have a 4 cage and a 5 cage and I've obeyed the rules. But we got that 3 now. Let's use it. Let's use it. That sees these cells and we can place 3 in box 2. Then we can place 3 in row 2. Then we can place 3 in box 9. And we must be on the verge of doing all the 3s. I think we've just done them. That 8 sorts out the 8 X-wing down there. That 7 reaches that cell. Good. We get an 8 here. Oh, but we already knew 8 was in one of those two. So up this column, 8, 4, 1, 2, 6, 3. All of these are 5, 7, 9. That one must appear in one of those two. They all see that cell, 5, 7 and 9, so that can't be a 5. 5's now in one of those two, and they both look back at that cell, so that can't be 5. Now 5 is in one of those two. That's unlikely to do any more for me. So over here we've got 2? I don't know. I still haven't resolved this 1-2 pair. Probably just missing a knight's move jobby somewhere. I'm taking the corner mark out of there. Now, if that was a 1-2 pair, with that being a 1-2 pair, 2 would have to be in one of these cells. Yeah, probably is. Okay, how about that 1-2 pair? Do they look at anything? I mean, they look at that cell, but I've already got a 1-2 looking at that. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Oh, this is a 1-2 pair because of that 1-2. Goodness me, 1-2s everywhere. Right, time to colour the 1-2s. So we'll go yellow and red. That yellow looks at this cell. Red in that row. This one is knight's move away from a red. Yeah, it was definitely time to colour the 1-2s and see what that proves or does. None of these can, well, we knew that, none of those can be 1 or 2 yellows in one of these two. This pair actually is a 6-9 pair, hadn't seen that coming. 7 in this column, it's in one of those. Not resolved, sir. This can't be red, but it could be yellows in this column, 6, 9, 8, 7, 3. The 1 is in one of these two cells. And it's red if it's there, and it's yellow if it's there. These are from 2, 4, 5. So if that was a 2, that... Well, I don't know. I don't know, but are either of these seen by both red and yellow? No. No, they're not. Oh, 3s was nice. We got something done with 3s. 6 and 9. 6 is in one of those two, and 9 is in one of those 3. I suppose that means that digit can't be 9, because it sees them all. 5 and 8. One of them is in this group, one of them is in this pair. Oh goodness, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. That digit must appear in one of those two cells because it can't be there. It's a 6 or a 7. 6, 9, 7, 8, 3. 1 is in one of those. This is 5, 7, 8, or 9. I've tried to use that group already. Oh goodness, why can I not see the next move? That's 5, 7, 9 as a triple. And that doesn't mean one of them has to be here. But this also can't be 1, 2, 4, 6, or 3. Could it be 8? Yes, it could. Okay, let's try something. I need to look for something different. Columns 1 and 2 look quite populated. 4, 6, 7, 9 to go in these cells. What does that mean? 4, 6, 7, 9. Well, what is this actually? It sees 9, 4, 1, 3 in the column, 8 somewhere in the row. All of 2, 5, 6 and 7 are available then. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's assume this was a 5. That would be a 5. That would be the 5 in column 3. That would force 5 into one of those cells and one of those two. We've already got it in one of those two, one of these two. Yeah, that's not quite resolving itself. Oh, come on. Oh, 6. No, 6 not able to be there. 9 is what's not able to be there, but we've got 9 done here. Oh, goodness. Right. Let's try and find progress. The cages, the integers, the squared and paired is all done. There's nothing else to be gained from that. That's definitely true. I need to find a good Sudoku move at this point. Right, I've got one. Where's 7 in box 2? It's not there or there because of this 7. So it's in one of those 3 cells. Don't they all see this cell? Wherever 7 is in box, if you were to put 7 here, there'd be nowhere to put it in box 2. So that's a 9. Well, that's a good move. That 9 sees this cell, 6. That's 6, I don't know, put 6 in, no, put 6 here because I've got a 6-9 pair looking at that cell. So come on, yeah, that is 6 in column 2, and that is 6 in the last 6 in the grid in box 3. Now what about 9s? All I know from that, 9 in one of those 2. But the 9s that have now been confined here don't allow that to be a 9. So this one's a 9, that's a 9. Taking out the corner mark, that's a 9. That might have done all the 9s. No, I've still got this X-wing pair down here. I can't do them yet. That's fine. We're making progress. We've got, that is 5 or 8. And these are from 4, 5, 8. 1, 6, 9, 3 in this box, 8 there. That digit is 4 or 7, and whatever it is can't go in those cells or there. That's interesting because 5's in one of these. We learnt that earlier. Now the other one of those is this digit. So these are, oh well, yeah, that's true. These are selected from 4, 5, 7, not 1. Now, that one, it is true, cannot be 4 or 7, so that's a 5. This one can't be 5 or 4 now, so that's a 7. This is where the 1 goes in the box. This has become a 2. This has become a 4. 7 in column 1. Those can't have a 5 in. These 2 are 5 and 8. And 5 is a knight's move, so it tells us what to do. Right, good. That's now a 7. And we've got a 5, 8 pair left here. 8 sees that one. Nighty McNightface keeps doing his marvellous work. Look, we've got red. That yellow sees that. So yellow is a 2. Red is a 1. Let's get rid of those colours. They've done their super job. That's a 4 to complete the row. This is 5 or 8 up here. That's not a 1. We've got 2 and 4 pencil marked. These are 5, 7 and 6. I mean, this is probably all done somehow. 8 has looked at that cell since I ever marked these as 7, 8. I just didn't see it. Sorry. That's a 6. That's a 5. That's a 9, that's a 5. Oh, it was a bit more straightforward than I was finding it. There we go. 7 and 6, top 2 rows to go. 7 and 4 up here. Probably don't even need knight's move anymore. I don't think we do. 8, 5, 1 digit to go. This is an 8, and there we go. That is squared and paired. Let's just, before we do that, we'll pair 1 with 1 in red. We'll pair 2 with 4 in yellow. We'll pair 3, where's 3? Oh, 3 was here, with 9 in blue. We'll pair 4 with 16 in pink. We'll pair 5, where's 5? Up here, with 25 in orange, and 6 with 36 in green, and that all works. Beautiful. Right, lovely puzzle, great fun, absolutely epic stuff. I really enjoyed that one. Great, thank you so much for being with us. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.